Hi everyone, welcome to Emory Buddhist Club. We've met here every Thursday since the beginning of this academic school year, and this is actually our final meeting for this year, and we're kind of closing off with an awesome event. This is our annual event of Vesak or Buddha Day, and as you can see on my screen, it is our celebration of Buddha's birth, awakening, and death as well. So today we've just got a cool lineup of all these different teachers and students, community members participating in this event, and I really hope you enjoy it. So a little bit about myself. Again, I'm Meha. If you don't already know me, then I am the president of Buddhist Club this year, and I am a junior undergraduate at Emory. And yeah, I've been part of Emory Buddhist Club since I was a freshman. So it's kind of like a home base, a community. That's kind of all I have right now. I'm going to hand it off to Venerable Priya to start the event and give us an introduction. But if you have any comments, thoughts, or questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. And I will send everyone this link for this page so that you can pull it up and follow along today. Thanks everyone for coming, and I'll hand it off to Venerable Priya.
Thank you, Meha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We have gathered today to celebrate the birth, enlightenment, and the attainment of parinirvana of the Buddha. Parinirvana means Buddha's passing into nirvana. In Theravada traditions, this celebration is referred to as Vesak or Visakha Puja. In South and Southeast Asian Buddhist communities, Vesak or Visakha is the name of this month in the Buddhist calendar, and the three events that we are celebrating fall on this full moon, which is actually on May 26th. Although it appears like we are here to celebrate these specific three events in the Buddha's life, birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana, upon closer reflection, we realize that we are here to remember and celebrate the entire life of the Buddha, his birth, his passing away, and everything in between. It is the time to remember and reflect on all the struggles that Buddha went through in his search for wisdom, and to remember the good service he continued to provide out of great compassion up until his last breath. There are many ways to celebrate and venerate the Buddha's life and service. In the words of the Buddha himself, one sees the Buddha when one penetrates the truth of his teachings and practices. Thus, through our own practice and wisdom, we can venerate the Buddha, his wisdom and compassion. In the Sutta Pitaka, the Buddha states that one who practices for the good and benefit of oneself and others becomes the supreme person. Giving his own practice as an example, the Buddha encourages everyone to become a good friend, because according to him, the cultivation of good friendship is the entire Buddhist practice. In a community of such good friends, we're able to look after one another, to care for each other in times of need, and to cure our problems together. The application of teachings such as this is not limited by time or space. Its applicability is timeless, its need forever. Let us take the opportunity today to remind ourselves to care as we remember Buddha's compassion. This doesn't mean we are going to immediately cure all the problems around us, but rather to start and continue the practice towards that goal by consistent and careful practice. To some, it could just be walking as if we are kissing the earth, as Vietnamese master Thich Nhat Hanh says. To some, it could mean donating for a good cause, reflecting, praying, and meditating to help ourselves remove our inner defilements. And to some, it could mean nurturing a garden. At the moment, I am finding care in the presence of everyone in this community. So thank you for your caring presence. I'm glad that as a community, we have gathered to share chants, reflections, contemplations, and hopes for the good of all, which is generally how Vesak or Buddha Day is celebrated by traditional Buddhist communities. Quite interestingly though, today is also the National Day of Prayer. So just as we have gathered to celebrate, there are many others who may not be in this gathering with us, but are praying and hoping for unity, strength, community, care, and hope along with us throughout the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Venerable Priya, for sharing that introduction. I'd like to welcome now Reverend Greg Mcgonagall. So Dean Greg is the Dean of the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life over at Emory, and he'll be speaking next.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Meha, and to Venerable Priya for that beautiful opening and introduction. It is such a pleasure to be with everyone this afternoon for the celebration of Buddha Day, my second Buddha Day at Emory, actually. And I guess the last one was a little bit like this one in the sense that we were still online or just beginning this journey that we have been in for the past year. And it's a joy to be able to come together in this way and to see so many friends, so many who have really helped to build and create and sustain this beautiful Sangha for many years here. I'm a newcomer to this circle, but have such gratitude for all of those who have been creating this community here for so long. And the teachers, the students, the community members, everyone who just makes this such a community of compassion, of spiritual growth, and of learning. I thought that I might share a poem today, just as a small reflection of the values that I think of when I celebrate the life of the Buddha. And this is a poem actually that I love by Mary Oliver called Wild Geese. And you may know this poem, but I just thought that I would bring it into the space because especially as we transition into the summer months right now, I'm thinking about the natural beauty. I'm thinking about the world beyond our technology. And that is what I think helps to bring me back to a sense of the deep values that we find in Buddha's life and teaching. So she writes, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things." And that's just a poem that I love because, I consider myself a Unitarian Universalist myself, and interdependence is one of the deep spiritual values in our tradition as well. The idea that all things are connected, that everything does have a place in the order of things. And I think that's such an important teaching, especially in this time when we've been separated from our normal ways of being together, and yet also connected, I think, in a common experience and looking forward to a time where we can restore some of those interconnections in the ways that we've known them before, maybe with a deeper gratitude and a deeper appreciation that we might not have felt. And one of the things I've been so excited about in the recent weeks is the restoration of the living mandala garden in front of Cannon Chapel, which I know a number of you have been involved in helping to bring together, and Venerable Priya helping to lead that initiative with friends from the Carlos Museum and an interfaith circle of gardeners. And I think it's just a beautiful symbol of the ways that we have the opportunity to put our world back together, not only around physical health and healing, but around the health and the healing and the well-being and the justice and the love that we hope for to be manifested in our communities and our societies. So I think that the Emory Buddhist Club is a beautiful witness to that, example of that. Those who have been the religious life scholars and the leaders of this community for so many years have really given us a gift in this. So grateful to be part of the celebration today. Looking forward to the teachings of all the teachers, an opportunity to meditate and share with you, and just delighted to see all of your faces as we celebrate the Buddha today. So thank you so much, Meha, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dean Greg. All right, our next speaker today is going to be Marianne Florian. So quick intro, Marianne has been a really vital member of Emory's Buddhist community for years. She's been a member and a leader of Emory Buddhist Club, and a really important teacher and resource for myself. So today she will be leading us in a chanting of the adoration of the Buddha's relics. So I will pass it off to you now, Marianne.
Can everyone hear me okay? I'm going to share my screen because I also have the, oh wait, I can't share my screen. Meha, would you mind putting the text for the chanting on the screen? Thank you. So this is a translation of a translation of a translation of a text that is used in rituals to give respect to the relics of the Buddha, and that is not restricted to the historical Buddha, but it could be used for adoring and respecting any relics of someone who shows the Buddhist path. I would like for us to all read it aloud together, but please keep your microphones muted. This way, when I chant it afterwards, you will know the words and it will have more meaning and be easier to understand. The translation here is done by a British person who is very interested in church hymns and poetry. So sometimes, because it's poetic, the noun and the verb will be switched, or the adjective and the verb, or the adjective and the noun will be switched in order. So it's just to beautify the language. It actually means something quite straightforward. If you'll fold your hands. Adoration of the Buddha's relics. Homage to the relics of the Buddha of merit all. Homage to the body of truth, which is truth itself, and a stupa for the world of the Dharma for our present body. Through the merits of the Buddha, the truth enters us, and we enter the truth. Through the excellent power of Buddha, we realize truth. Let us do only good things for all living things, that we may possess the true mind. Let us do only pure deeds, that we may enter the peaceful mind which is unchanging great wisdom. Let us pay homage eternally to the Buddha, to the Buddha, to the Buddha. Homage to the relics of the Buddha of merit all. Homage to the body of truth, which is truth itself, and a stupa for the world of the Dharma for our present body. Thank you. So now I'll chant it as we chant it in my home tradition, which is the Order of Buddhist Contemplatives. Adoration of the Buddha's relics. Homage to the relics of the Buddha of merit all. Homage to the body of truth, which is truth itself, and a stupa for the world of the Dharma for our present body. Through the merits of the Buddha, the truth enters into us, and we enter the truth. Through the excellent power of Buddha, we realize truth. Let us do only good things for all living things, that we may possess the true mind. Let us do only pure deeds, that we may enter the peaceful mind, which is unchanging great wisdom. Let us pay homage eternally to the Buddha, to the Buddha, to the Buddha. Homage to the relics of the Buddha of merit all. Homage to the body of truth, which is truth itself, and a stupa for the world of the Dharma for our present body. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful.
Thanks, Marianne. That was really, really beautiful. Thank you for leading us with that. Our next speaker that will be, should I stop sharing my screen? I think I'll stop sharing my screen. Our next teacher today is going to be Professor Tara Doyle. Actually, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. My bad. I believe our next leader will be Bhante Dipankara. Guys, that was a mess, but it's going to be Venerable Dipankara. I got a little overwhelmed with technology, but I will just hand it off to Bhante now and ask him to save me.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you, everyone. It's really an honor to be with you all in this moment. It's really, really wonderful feeling in my mind this moment, being with all your noble friends to celebrate the Buddha's birthday, enlightenment, and his passing away. So let's take refuge in the Buddha and pay homage to the Triple Gem. Okay, Meha, could you please share the screen so everyone can follow us? Sorry. Okay, let's pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Let's pay homage to the Buddha. Iti piso bhagava arahaṃ samma sambuddho vicacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasarathi sattha deva manussānaṃ buddho bhagavate. Let's pay homage to the Dhamma. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehipasiko opanayiko paccattāṃ veditabbo viññohiti. Let's pay homage to the noble Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho ujjo patipanno bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samichi patipanno bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Attha Purisa Pungala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutteram Punyak Khetam Lokasansati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you all be well, happy and peaceful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante Dipankara. Just wanted to share this in my moment of being flustered. I forgot to share that Bhante Dipankara is representing the Georgia Buddhist Vihara today. So I'd like to thank you, Bhante Dipankara, and move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is another teacher that has taught at Emory Buddhist Club many times. This is going to be Geshe Dadel, and he's joining us from, I believe, the Drepung Losling Monastery, which is very close by. It's in Georgia too. So yeah, I will hand it off to you, Geshe Dadel, and welcome.
Yeah, Maya, again, can you share the screen so that others could follow also? Yes, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to greet you all on this very auspicious day where we are reflecting back on the life and teachings of the Buddha, as well as celebrating that the goodness that came out of it, and it continued to come. And it surely is going to be a source of hope, light, joy for the posterity for all the times. And I wanted to let you know that the chanting that I'm going to do in Tibetan, which will be a challenge, I think, for you to figure out, because this is in transliteration, not in phonetics. So it will be difficult. Anyway, just letting you know that this prayer, the recitation that I'm doing, is in the same spirit as Bhante Dipankarji just recited and led for us. There may be slight changes, the differences there. Otherwise, the spirit is the same, particularly the beginnings. And then in between also, we will be paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And then remembering the teachings of the Buddha represented by a particular verse. And then following it up with the dedication. So that's the entire spirit of the recitation that I'm going to share, which is almost exactly the same in spirit as Bande Dipankarji just led for us. So please join me. Dönba jomden de deshin shepa cha jomba yanda zobe sanje rikpa dang shapsu denba dewar shepa jikten jemba yubu dube kalu yuba lana meba lata minam dönba sanje jomden de pe jawa shaja tuba la cha se chodu japsu che 강세 강예 소 죄담세 사제 니나 공바 듬보 만이 직된 니나 초제수 대세 개방 규라자 남다 공아 초도 소상 이세 자소 세계 름보다 다바 직된 순나라메 공보 초니 규라자 we had to do you know where we are? Okay, could you move it up? Little up. Yeah, we finished the 9. Now we are on 10. Okay. Amda kunga chodo sosawa yishe yasu sekye lumbo takwa jikden sumna lame gombo chonye kyola cha senjo denpa time dawe shel sendo dawa kyola cha Jude Juda Siba Sumachi Nyame Chenjen Jula Cha. So we just finished number 11. After that was an expansive celebration of the qualities of the Buddha, followed by one stanza each once again for the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So the number 12 is once again remembering the Buddha and paying homage. Gombo tukje chenden ba tamje kembe tumba sunam yunde jazu shin deshin shela cha to the dhamma tabe de cha devar gyur kewe ngesun de tu chikdo dendam cho gyur wa chi gyur chuna cha to the sangha dene drewe lamyang de laba thala rapu Hingiye tamba yunden den kendu cha. So number 15 is remembering the teaching of the Buddha, where it says, Saba papas akaranam sachit. That very teaching. Saba papas akaranam kusalas sasambatam sachit pariyot parinam idam buddham anusasanam, right? Don't do any misdeeds. Don't commit any misdeeds. Cultivate the positivities to the best you can. Ultimately, tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So this is number 15. Dikpa chiyang mija shin kewa pusum sobarche. Rangi semni yongsu du dini sanje temba. Next one is using nine metaphors to reflect the reality around us, beginning from the reality of impermanence to the reality of the limitations of samsaric existence, to the very ultimate reality of everything being merely designated with no intrinsic inherent objective reality of its own, yet fully functional by virtue of being ultimately, absolutely interdependent. Karma rabri marme tan yuma seba chut milam lotan tinda wu duje shunam didar. The last one is dedication. Sunam di tamche sikpa yi kopan topne kyunji chatu. Kada nada chive lapchu pe sibe sule doa duwa. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-dado. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little hard to try to read and say, so I stopped trying pretty quickly. Next, I would like to invite Sensei Elliston to speak. Sensei Elliston is also a frequent EBC teacher. He's joining us from the Atlanta Soto Zen Center. And Sensei, I'll pass it off to you. And whenever you say the word, I'll reshare my screen so that people can follow along again.
Okay, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I think I'm unmuted. Can we hear? Okay, good. I've chosen to recite the Metta Sutta, at least the English version of it that we chant in the Soto Zen liturgy. It's merciful in its brevity, and I think it has a message that is pertinent and relevant to us today, especially in the context of the pandemic. I think I saw that Tara Doyle was on the schedule before this. Did we skip over Tara? Okay. So if, do we have the Metta Sutta on screen? Okay. I wonder, this is the Heart Sutra. Do we have the Metta? Let me do this.
I believe we do, but if you wanted to share your screen, then we could definitely prepare that.
Would it work, Meha, would it work for me to chant each line and then everybody respond? Call, response, call, response, call, response? Could people unmute their mics, and can we do it that way without too much confusion?
I think that would work. I see a lot of faces. I'm not sure what faces mean.
Okay, let's try it. So it starts, the first line, it's a loving kindness or Metta Sutta. And it starts with, this is what may be accomplished by the one who is wise. So if we all say that, if I say that, then everybody say it. Let's try it once. This is what may be accomplished by the one who is wise.
This is what may be accomplished by the one who is wise.
Who seeks the good and has obtained peace.
Who seeks the good and has obtained peace.
Let one be strenuous, upright, and sincere.
Let one
be strenuous, upright, and sincere.
Without pride, easily contented and joyous.
Without pride, easily contented and joyous.
Let one not be submerged by the things of the world.
Let one not be submerged by the things of the world.
Let one not take upon oneself the burden of riches.
Let one not take upon oneself a burden of riches.
Let one's senses be controlled. Let one be wise, but not puffed up.
Let one's senses be controlled, that one be wise and not puffed up.
Let one not desire great possessions, even for one's family.
Let one not desire great possessions, not even for one's family.
Let one do nothing that is mean or that the wise would reprove.
Let one not do that which is mean or which the wise would reprove.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be
happy.
May they be joyous and live in safety.
May they
May
be
they be joyous and live in safety.
All living beings,
all
living beings,
whether weak or strong,
whether weak or strong,
in high or middle or low realms of existence,
in high and middle or low realms of existence,
small or great,
small
or great,
visible or invisible,
visible or invisible,
near or far,
or far,
or yet to be born.
or
Born or yet to be born.
born or yet to be born.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
Let no one deceive another.
Let no
Let no one deceive another.
nor despise any being in any state.
or despise any being in any state.
Let none by anger or hatred
Let none by anger or hatred
wish harm to another.
wish harm to another.
Even as a mother,
Even as a mother,
at the risk of her life,
at the risk of her life,
watches over and protects
watches over and protects
her only child.
her only child.
So with a boundless mind,
So with a boundless mind,
should one cherish all living things,
Should
one cherish all living things,
suffusing love over the entire world,
love over the entire world,
above, below, and all around without limit.
above, below, and all around without limit.
So let one cultivate
So let one cultivate
an infinite goodwill
an infinite goodwill
toward the whole world.
for the whole world,
Standing or walking,
standing or walking,
sitting or lying down,
sitting or lying down,
down.
during all one's waking hours,
during all one's waking hours.
let one cherish the thought
Let one cherish the thought
that this way of living
That
that
this
this way of living,
is the best in the world.
is
it is the best in the world.
Abandoning vain discussion,
Abandoning vain discussion,
having a clear vision,
having a clear vision,
freed from sense appetites,
freed from sense appetite,
one who realizes the way
one who realizes the way
will never again know rebirth
will never again know rebirth
in the cycle of creation of suffering
in the cycle of creation of suffering
suffering.
for ourselves
for ourselves
or for others.
or for others.
May all beings be happy.
May
All beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy,
May all beings be happy,
including thee and me.
including thee and me.
and me.
Thank you. This is the topic of my recent, of the Quartet four segment podcast coming out as Unmind, 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 at our website, ASCC website, commentary on the Metta Sutta. You're very patient.
Sensei Elliston, did you still want to lead the Heart Sutra, or was that your kind of planned piece?
Yes, if you'd like to, if you have time.
Absolutely. I can share my screen.
Okay. We will do this without accompaniment of drum and gong, which we usually do. I will keep time with my hand. I'm not sure you can hear. Heart of great perfect wisdom sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when deeply practicing prajna paramita, clearly saw that all five aggregates are empty and thus relieved all suffering. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness, emptiness itself form. Sensation, perception, formation, and consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure, neither increase nor decrease. Therefore, given emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, no perception, no formation, no consciousness, no eyes, no nose, no. Please move the screen up. No eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of mind consciousness. There is neither ignorance nor extinction of ignorance, neither old age and death nor extinction, old age and death, no suffering, no cause, no cessation, no path, no knowledge, and no attainment. With nothing to attain, a bodhisattva relies on prajnaparamita, and thus the mind is without hindrance. Without hindrance, there is no fear, far beyond all inverted views. One realizes nirvana, all Buddhas of past, present, future rely on prajnaparamita, and thereby attain unsurpassed, complete, perfect enlightenment. Therefore know the prajnaparamita as the great miraculous mantra, the great bright mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, which removes all suffering and is true, not false. Therefore we proclaim the prajnaparamita mantra, the mantra that says gate, gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Usually, one has time to take a breath. The sutra, I think the chanting, particularly a long sutra, a fairly long sutra like the Heart Sutra, it's very brief compared to, of course, to the original. It's a condensed version, but no single person can chant it alone, especially in the Japanese style with the rapid beat of the drum. Everybody has to take a breath. So at some point when one of us has to take a breath, somebody else chants that word, chants that syllable. So only Sangha, only a community can chant the Heart Sutra. One individual cannot chant the Heart Sutra.
Thank you, Sensei Elliston, for leading that component of our event today. I would next like to welcome Guogu. So Guogu has been a teacher with Emory Buddhist Club several times, and I'm really happy to welcome him back. He's joining us today from representing the Tallahassee Chan Center, which is indeed in Tallahassee, Florida, and not in Georgia, as many of our other teachers. So welcome, Guogu, and I'll hand it off to you now. And just let me know when I should share my screen.
I hope everyone's doing well. Honored to be here. This talk is an occasion for us to recall the Buddha, to remember the significance of him coming to this world. And it's like when we're thirsty, we have to know the wellspring where we can get the water to quench our thirst. So it's very important as a Dharma practitioner to cultivate gratitude. My teacher used to always say, gratitude is foremost. So without gratitude to the Buddha, three jewels, and all sentient beings, we will not have a practice. To do what? To do something that none other has done. The significance of the Buddha in this world, which is to point out suffering, causes of suffering, cessation, and a path out of it. So all the things that we do, chanting, joining together, is for one purpose, to not only help ourselves, but through our connectedness with all beings, all sentient beings. It's actually the field with which we can bring forth the virtues that lies within the functions of our Buddha nature, which is the six perfections, and to cultivate the path. Without difficult people, without troubles that we meet, we cannot come to realize and appreciate the preciousness of the Buddha's teaching. So, Mehan, would you please share the screen? So this is a text that dates back to several hundred years. It's a hymn highlighting the significance of the Buddha coming to this world. And in a storytelling way. And his work, which is in this text, it's pointed out as moksha, cessation. You can understand that as awakening, as nirvana, as the extinction of suffering and its causes, and the manifold ways in which, if you scroll up just a little bit, we can have the whole text. So scroll down on me, scroll down. Okay, down. Come again. Oh, good, yeah. Basically, you get the whole text here. So, oops. Okay, good. And the manifold ways this teaching is expressed in all different traditions, just like what we have heard before. Different chanting, different devotional remembrance, recalling of the Buddha's teachings, and honoring his teachings. So he concludes with that, the forming of lotuses, taking up many forms, with wonderful fragrances of the teachings, all leading to sublime quiescence. So the chanting of this text is actually quite, the English is very easy to read. The chanting of this text in Chinese is very slow, very long. It's about 10 minutes. So I'm going to skip the chanting of it. So hopefully we can together, while muted your voice, if you can follow me in the reading of it. And while you do so, we can join our palms. And we give rise to gratitude. Hymn of Shakyamuni Buddha. As a bodhisattva, he descended from Tushita and entered the palace of King Shuddhadana. Queen Maya gave birth to this golden baby from her right side, and the celestial melody pervaded throughout the heavens. He surveyed the 4 directions and took 7 steps, and pointed to earth and heaven and exclaimed, "I alone am the world-honored one." The 9 dragons showered the Blessed One with ambrosia, and the myriad forms all awakened to the truth by directly pointing to the wondrous mind of awakening. The teaching flourished in all directions. Moksha alone is the eternal truth. The wondrous fragrance and congregation of lotuses are formed. The Dharma may take many forms, but they all lead to the path of sublime quiescence. Blessed is Shakyamuni Buddha, the most honored one, our revered original teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, Bogu. Thank you for sharing that. So this concludes the chanting and sharing part of this event done by our teachers. And now we'll move on to the next section, which is reflections by community members and Emory, just people that have been involved with EBC over the years and have some reflection that they can share with us. So we will begin with Dr. Tara Doyle. I will share her many titles, which are all really cool. First, she is a visiting research scholar at the Candler School of Theology. Another title is that she is an emerita senior lecturer at, in the religion department at Emory. And additionally, she is the emerita director of the Tibetan Studies program at Emory. So she's been a vital component of the Buddhist community, and I'll hand it off to you, Dr. Doyle, to do a reflection now.
So I actually feel like I'm walking into this wonderful Zoom room much more as a student of the Buddha. Forget the titles. I'm also retired, so it really doesn't matter much anymore. But I really mean that. I am just humbled and grateful and deeply touched to be part of this community and to see the preciousness of these wonderful teachers who have been guiding our wonderful students and community members for such a long time now. And I'm so grateful to you. You know, I teach the Dharma in a classroom, which is a kind of teaching of the Dharma. But it's always been precious for me to be able to send students to the Buddhist Club. And now that I am not teaching undergraduates anymore, but only teaching our seminarians, to my great delight, because I do require them to go to either Bobby Patterson's wonderful Wednesday night or Thursday night, they have found it exceedingly helpful, healing, useful. And so I think that the Buddhist Club is really a healing, beautiful presence on our campus. And to have watched it grow from almost nothing to this really remarkable expression of the various ways of the Buddha Dharma, and its consistency and the strength of the students who have kept it going, without a lot of help from your faculty, and I will apologize to you for that. But we are there with you, and we are grateful to the teachers and to the students and the community members. Now, of course, aren't we grateful that Greg Mcgonagall and Venerable Priya Shraman are with us now? They have, yes, absolutely. There's a solid foundation now, which is going to go beyond graduation, right? Which will help keep this group and other things going. Yes, I'm so grateful to them. And finally, what I would say is, I'm in a way a stand-in right now for the Buddhism faculty. And we have also grown with, of course, our most prestigious faculty member, which is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You know, a distinguished presidential professor, and also Geshe Lobsang, who is critical to the Emory expression of Buddhism on campus, to Sarah McClintock. Some of you have probably studied with her. She's a wonderful teacher. Wei Wu, a wonderful teacher. Also Eric Reinders and Sepak Rigson. And if I've forgotten anyone, please put it in the chat or let me know. But I think this is a beautiful symbiotic relationship of the faculty, the students, these Dharma teachers, and now this administrative Sangha that's arising. And I think we have to expand it, and I think we will, and it is expanding. So it's been a very tough few months and more than a year. The COVID, the racial justice, the brutality of the killings of Black men and women, of the violence, the anti-Asian violence that has happened across our country. And I feel the healing potential that Buddhism brings to this. The last few days have been rich for me in that belief with the May We Gather, hundreds and hundreds of people, Buddhists from across the country, gathering together for the 49th anniversary of the killing of people here in Atlanta, as we know. It was beautiful and it was healing. And I feel today is also extremely healing. And if the Buddha taught anything, it was to bear witness to sorrow and joy. And so I feel both right now. My heart is full of gratitude and the tenderness of the sorrow and the strength and beauty of the joy I think we've brought together here. So I also wanted to read something. I wasn't sure if anyone else would read it, but it is the portion, the Bodhisattva vow portion of the Bodhicharya Avatara by the 8th century, a great poet and practitioner, Shantideva. His Holiness is one of his favorite texts, and I think a favorite text of many of us on this screen. And although it comes out of the Mahayana tradition, I think that as Sensei Elliston said, and as Geshe Dodal said, the heart of Buddhism is the same across this diversity. And so I think the Buddha was a great bodhisattva who taught us how to tread the path. And that is the heart of this bodhisattva vow. For all those ailing in the world, until their very sickness has been healed, may we ourselves become for them the doctor, nurse, and medicine, raining down like a flood of food and drink, May we dispel the ills of thirst and famine. And in the ages marked by scarcity and want, may we ourselves appear as drink and sustenance. For sentient beings poor and destitute, may we become a treasure, ever plentiful, and lie before them closely in their reach, a varied source of all that they might need. May I be a guard for those who are protectorless, a guide for those who journey on the road, for those who wish to go across the water. May we be a boat, a raft, a bridge. Thus, for everything that lives, as far as the limits of the sky, may we provide their livelihood and nourishment until they pass beyond the bonds of suffering. And just so, for the benefit of beings, we will also have this attitude of mind, and in these precepts, step by step, we will abide and train ourselves. So today our lives have given fruit. The human state has now been well assumed. Today we take our birth in Buddha's line and we become the Buddha's children and heirs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Doyle. That was really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that reflection. Our next reflection from an EBC or Buddhist community member / alumni is going to be by Lacie Campbell. So Lacie is actually the person who I inherited my presidency from and taught me pretty much everything that I do now for Buddhist Club. She used to do it. So I'll hand it off to Lacie. You can go ahead now.
Okay. Thank you, Meha. I'll be quite brief. I just wanted to speak today and express my gratitude not only for Buddha on this day, but also this community, this Sangha that has slowly grown at Emory. Emory Buddhist Club has provided me so much guidance through academically, spiritually, and just through small moments in my everyday life. The people here, it's a home, it's a community. It was a place where I could express myself and express my curiosities every day at 6 p.m. I had people to count on and people to speak with. And it's been a very grounding community. Not only that, I've met incredible people. I've had the opportunity to speak to incredible teachers, and I have learned so, so much. This community is so special to me, as I know is special to pretty much everyone here. And I just want to say that I am not only grateful, but extremely reflective these past few days, as I will have the opportunity to graduate kind of from Emory again in a week, as weird as that is. But reconnecting with this community and all the memories that I have with it, the small moments of hopping on to Emory Buddhist Club this past year, and even just getting on today and seeing all your smiling faces, it's a positive in my life, and it always has been. Every single Thursday night at 6 p.m., all 4 years of my time at Emory. So I would like to thank all of you who were a part of that. I'm extremely thankful and grateful for you all. And that's all I really have to say. But thank you, Meha, for taking over for this year. And you've done an incredible job. And I miss you all so, so much. But
Thanks, Lacie. So happy to hear from you. Next, I'd like to invite Marianne back on the floor to give us a reflection. She's also been one of the people that taught me like everything there is to know about EBC. So another amazing teacher. Go ahead, Marianne.
Thank you, Meha. And I just want to say, especially to you specifically, you have been so consistent in keeping the EBC, having it have some continuity from week to week. And that's been no small task. And I'm very, very grateful to you. So actually, I had a very interesting thought this past week, and I thought I would share it. As I've kind of realized, like, I'm going to be graduating from Emory in August with my PhD in religious studies. And yes, it's wonderful. Now I get to go from getting a PhD to hopefully a JOB. We'll see. But I'm thinking about all the things that the university provides that I'll need to replace. And this is something, being part of the Buddhist Club has been a totally unique experience for me. I don't think it's replaceable. Whatever's next, and I'll still be, popping in, but whatever's next is not going to be a replacement. There's no way. It's just going to be whatever's next. And at the time I realized that, I felt like, wow, kind of a little bit sad that I'm as if I'm losing you all, which I'm not. But as if maybe I was a little bit in touch with the part of me that grasps after the role that I get to play in this group. And so for if any of that grasping has caused discomfort to anybody, I would like to apologize, but also to say thank you for the chance to learn whatever I needed to learn by being with the Buddhist Club. And I'm a different person. I think I'm a little bit easier to be around. And so, yeah. I also just want to say that I know that I brought a lot of my teachings from a different community to kind of inform especially in like 2013, 2014, 2015, to inform kind of the initiatives that I was taking at that time. And I'm so excited to see how that has been transcended completely. And I think the people who are most responsible for that are our wonderful teachers who have, out of the kindness of their hearts, shared the Buddha Dharma with us for years on Thursday nights. And that's just an incredible gift. And it's more than the sum of its parts. It's something that is empty of inherent existence, and its parts come together as an amalgam. Everybody contributes, and the result is actually quite intimate. It's empty in the sense of being quite intimate, in the sense of not having a boundary or a clear border between this and that, between self and other. And I'm over the moon with gratitude. And I think I will just pause there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marianne. All right, everyone. I think the last reflection will be me. I didn't really prepare this very well, so I apologize if it's kind of stumbly, but I just wanted to share like my experience with EBC. So when I started with EBC, I was just a tiny little freshman, and I think I was just kind of like a leaf blowing around in the wind, trying to figure out what my place was at this like giant new home. Like, who am I gonna hang out with? What am I gonna care about? And so when someone just casually was like, oh, there's a Buddhist meditation, I was like, for free, like on campus? And so I went back in like fall of freshman year and checked it out, and I was blown away because it was, I just truly felt like it was I thought it was way more formal than like the casual weekly meetings we have now. It was like a cool teacher was sitting up at the front. We're all like sharing our thoughts, and people just knew what they were talking about and sharing like actual experience with Buddhism, which was very different from my family, that like just the few Buddhist influences I have from my family. It was like a whole community of people that had a lot of different views that were all generally Buddhist, or even different views that weren't Buddhist at all. So it was cool. It was really diverse. And since that time, I think I started using EBC as like a grounding force, kind of like Lacie said. It was like regular. I know for sure I can count on every Thursday at 6. I can just walk into this meeting and have a really like wonderful, uplifting meditation. And of course, like the tea and snacks and chatting with like all of these cool people I met afterwards was no small thing. It was one of the huge selling points for me. But anyways, I started using it as more of a like grounding and stabilizing force, and I started learning a lot more from it, especially since it is such a like incredible resource of all these different teachers from the Atlanta community. And like the actual purpose, one of our main goals as EBC is to share with people like resources that they can follow up with. So not just to learn at the weekly meditations, but then to maybe see, oh, am I more interested in what this teacher has to say? Then like start frequenting that temple maybe, or like read up more about what they're talking about. So again, just to reiterate, a really great source of teachers and actual knowledge of Buddhist principles. And during the past year, like since the pandemic began, it has been a force of stability again, but also a way that I can connect with people, like really feel socially connected, even through a computer, and feel like I'm actually helping in some way or providing some kind of platform that people actually want to come to. Even the few Thursdays when it's like 3 or 4 people, it still makes me so happy. Like, man, these several people came out here and like wanted to participate in this, and it's just really cool. So it's made me happy during the pandemic, and it makes me happy to know other people are gaining from it, and our teachers are kind of being able to share their teachings on a platform at my school too. So just to close off my reflection, I want to say I miss those days of us drinking tea in the basement. Hopefully we can be on campus again soon. And even if it's not you guys specifically all together in that room, like every Thursday, it'll still bring back those memories and it'll be fun. And looking forward, we have a really amazing team like coming together, and that has been working together with OSRL, and our EBC members and our new incoming executive board, including Albert, who's here today. He's a freshman. So I'm just really excited for the next year, being on campus again, being able to like physically feel the community vibes instead of like talking to a computer. But yeah, it's all just really exciting, and I'm really glad all of you came today. So I will finish my reflection there. I will hand it off to Upali, who is also one of the founding forces, in my view, of EBC. And after Upali speaks, I believe Upali is giving a reflection and he is leading the dedication of merit. Then I'll say a few closing words, and whoever else can say some closing words too. So go ahead, Upali.
Thank you, Meha. Thank you very much. Since we are almost towards the end of the program, shall we take a few moments to just settle in and process all the good things that has been shared so far? And just, rejoice in this incredible gathering of so many wise people, beautiful people, and good friends. Shall I just take a few minutes? You can close your eyes or keep them open and take deep breaths and just, I think, enjoy this joy. Okay. So for my chanting, actually, I will begin with a verse that's not shared there. So I'll just share it in the message because I think it's very important. And I'll read it out. It's from the Pali Dhammapada. It reads like this. Sukho buddhanang uppado sukha saddhamma desana sukha sangassa samaggi samagganang tapo sukho. It means that the arising of the Buddha is a happy thing, it's a happy event. The preaching of the Dharma by the Buddhas is a happy event. And getting together with a community is a happy event. And striving together in the community is a happy event. And that's just as I was hearing everyone and seeing everyone's face. So I recall that I didn't have that when I was originally planning what to talk. And this is just a joyful thing to see everyone. And that's what I have also heard everyone when sharing that, how happy they have been, how happy all of you have been to be a part of the Buddhist club. And also in Buddhism, refuge is a very, very important thing. I think the beginning of the Buddhist practice begins with a refuge. And I can definitely say that in the Buddhist club, for myself, I found a refuge. When I was deciding to come here, trying to connect with the people, where I can go and all that, I didn't know much about Emory. And I did literally find a refuge, actually. The silent person, Emory Shu, sending messages here. So he helped me to stay in the same apartment that he was staying, so I didn't have to worry about finding apartments. And he is a major force of the Buddhist club as well, moving around all over Atlanta with the Buddhist club meditation advertisements. Yeah. So he used to drive me to the campus. We were in a Wembley Court in the apartment on the La Vista Road where the Emory shuttle didn't go. So he used to, I used to come to the campus every day with him, and he used to drop me and pick me up every day. So it was very convenient. And meeting Marianne and everyone, Sarah was here also, all the good friends that I have met, and then all the great teachers. And what I find mostly wonderful is about the Buddha Day is that we get to see all the teachers' faces together. So we see each of the teachers every Thursday, but on the Buddha Days, usually we see all the teachers together. So it kind of, meeting one teacher is joyful enough. Now meeting all the teachers, you just multiply all the great friends. Geshe Dadul, Sensei Elliston, Goku, so nice to see. Reverend Greg, Bante Deepankara, and Lacie, Marianne, everyone. So happy to see all of you. So I just want to celebrate the gathering together of the community. It's so beautiful. So as we share the merits, I'd also like to encourage all of us to think about like all the good things that we have heard, all the beautiful words of wisdom. What Professor Tara Doyle read is also one of my favorite texts. Actually, I read that in many occasions, where Shantideva is literally wishing that for people who are hungry, may he be their food, may he himself be their drink, may he shower as a rain so that the farmers get their crops. And for those who want to cross the river, may he be the boat. So it's really so powerful that someone has so much of benevolent attitude that he wants to make himself available to everyone in every way that is possible, and that he is capable. And it's so inspiring and encouraging. And all of it because of the Buddha who emerged in this world more than 2,500 years ago, like Gogu reminded us. And it's so wonderful. So I would like to encourage all of us to think about all the people that we would like to share this moment with, this joy with, and who comes to your mind, all the merit that has been gained through this sharing, to listening to all the chanting. And who is it that we want them to be free from the suffering that they are going through now, so that they can find all the resources to be free from the suffering they are facing now, or maybe in the future, physical suffering, mental suffering. So I'd like to keep all of them, and extending even to the beings like Sensei Elliston Roshi said, born, unborn in the Metta Sutta, far and near, to all beings. So to keep them in mind as we read this chanting. Meha, can you share the screen now, please? This is readable version. Also, I want to say, last year when we were celebrating this, Geshe Dadul said something in Pali. Today also he said the Sabba Papa Sakarana. So I promised Geshe-la that I will say something in Tibetan this time. So I have a sharing of merit in the Pali, in the Theravada tradition, and I also have the sharing of merit in the Tibetan tradition. So Geshe-la, I have in both the tradition, the smaller vehicle and the big vehicle. So whatever is your aspiration, everyone's aspirations, we can go with that. Okay, so you can read along with me, although you're muted. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanam. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang parang. Ettavata cham hehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cham hehi sampatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cham hehi sampatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idang me yati nang hotu sukhita hontu yatayo. Idang me yati nang hotu sukhita hontu yatayo. Idang me yati nang hontu sukhita hontu yatayo. Imina punya kammena Mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya devo vassatu kalena sassa sampatti hetucha pito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko. So that's the end of the prayer in the Pali language. We have it also in the Tibetan. Meha, can you go a little bit up so I can see the last line as well? It doesn't go further from that. Okay. No, it's okay. Thank you. So this one in the phonetic you can read, not in the transliteration. Jangchup semchok rinpo che ma ke panam ke kyur che ke pa nyampa mi pa yang gong ni gong du pelvar shok sadhu sadhu sadhu. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Rupali. Well, everyone, that is the last kind of chanting, sharing part of this meeting. But I want to, before I hand it off back to Venerable Priya to officially conclude, I just want to thank like a bunch of different people. I want to make sure to recognize again all of the teachers that joined us today and have taught with us throughout the academic year. You all are like the life force of this club, obviously, and we wouldn't be able to do any of this without you. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us and your teachings with us. I also want to thank the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life that's grouping together Dean Greg, Zach, and Venerable Priya, who is, as you guys all know, the Buddhist chaplain. The OSRL has been just like a really great guiding force and rock for Emory Buddhist Club, especially this year. I think we've collaborated with OSRL and like worked together as a team so much more, to my knowledge, than we have in the past. So that's been a really great part of this year. I want to share everyone who spoke today. Thank you so much. I'm not going to say all of your names, although I was about to, but I don't think that would be a good use of time. Thanks so much for sharing your reflections, and for anyone who just came to watch and learn a little bit and participate in Buddha Day with us. Thank you for coming. Oh, and a huge thank you specifically to Venerable Priya, because he organized all of this with some help from like Sarah and other people, all of the teachers and all that. He pretty much put this all together, and I didn't do any of it because I've been studying for a big exam I'm taking. So just want to make sure I give that credit where it's due. He pretty much put this together. So thank you so much. And I'll hand it off back to you to officially conclude.
Thank you, Meha, and thank you everyone so much. I don't want to take all the credit as much as Meha wants to give. A lot of it is actually from last year's program. As you know, we had a virtual program last year too. And as I want to say thanks to everyone, I want to just share a small story, something that I learned in my Pali class this semester. In talking about how Buddhist practitioners practice Buddhist teachings, the text that we were reading in a Pali class this semester gives an example of actually dragons, or you can talk about I don't know how to refer to dragons at that time, but like sea animals that dragons live in the floor of the ocean. It is saying basically just like how salmons do, the salmon fish. When dragons are born, they enter into the ocean slowly, right? Because they are born in the small spaces of water, but then they slowly as they develop their body, they get into the ocean where it's bigger and they can grow more. But when it's time for them to give birth, they come back to the place where they were born originally, so that they can take care of their young ones safely, because it's not safe in the ocean. And they train them there, and then when it's ready, they take them to the big ocean. Just like salmons, when it's time to give birth, they go back to the place where they were born. So today, I just remember that because I see a lot of people here who graduated from Emory or Emory Buddhist Club, but came back. A lot of our teachers who keep coming back, sort of nurturing new faces, new students. And I hope that those of you who will graduate now will also continue to come back and give us guidance and nurture our future students. So thank you so much to everyone who joined today, who shared your reflections, your good thoughts, and your practices. And I hope that Emory Buddhist Club and everyone who joined here and everyone in Atlanta, in the country, in the whole world, continue to prosper and have peace and joy. Thank you so much. That's officially the end of our Buddha Day celebration. And we can continue to chat after the recording is done.